welcome to all sins, commandments alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys Dragon's Judgment episode review, latest episode for the final season of 7 Deadly Sins, also known as Nanatsu no Taizai. Let's get underway because this episode was lackluster as hell. And I'll tell you why it was lackluster as hell. Because we had 3 separate storylines of epicness that should have been amazing, that should have been handled well, but faltered. And borderline, I would argue, failed. Number 1, we start off this episode with the Demon King fight, right? 7 Deadly Sins have destroyed the Enduro off screen. That happened in the manga. It pissed off people in the manga. It's going to piss off people here in the anime. We don't really get much of a fight with them. That is bad. That's bad, right? But that's on the manga's part, not the anime, so can't really complain. What I can complain about is the way the anime handled the following scene. 7 Deadly Sins are fighting, etc., etc. Demon King's all, I'm a genius, I'm a god, I'm Shakespeare, I'm Kanye West. My single greatest regret is I will never see myself perform live. You know, Demon King is basically Kanye West. So, he's there toting himself up as the big bad, as the worst thing to happen since, unsliced bread. And then all of a sudden, they're all fighting back. 7 Deadly Sins are fighting back, or should say the 6 sins, because the 7th sin is on his way. And in the manga, it was epic. It was amazing. We knew it was coming. We saw the Mael scene with the whole fist and the boom. We saw that shit, right? But the way they handled this was so damn bad. When will they understand that 18 pages of chapter, the final page of a chapter, when it's a big bang scene, is not meant to just be the 1-second scene that people read that page and then done in an anime. I so miss the days when they would stop doing this whole panel by panel for the same time frame. It's okay to go panel by panel. The story was good beforehand. But the fact of the matter is that what they're doing these days is they're saying, okay, how long does it take you to read that panel? All right, she said, he said. Okay, so we're going he said, she said, they said. Boom. And they do it that quickly. Here with this scene with Escanor, should have been epic. Should have been the final blow. Should have been the, I've got you now. Boom. And then white screen, reaction shots, music hypes up, white, go, fade to white, fade to black, whatever. And then, ching. Then, opens. Then it should have been boom, 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 boom. Then we should have heard Escanor start to talk as the camera rises. It was shot so terribly in this, it's not just the animation itself, but it was shot and paced horribly for Escanor's entrance. Escanor, with his voice actor, is stealing the show here, but he's working with crap. He's making it bearable, but oh man, so bad, so terribly handled here. I mean, even his moments of saying things like, before I accidentally kill the Demon King, Gotha, you better start on that little plan of yours. Crack, crack. I'm gonna fight him. The Demon King's like, seriously, wait, what is this guy saying? It's like, no, Escanor just said, I'm gonna fight this guy, but he's a bit of a tough cookie. He's a bit of a rough customer. So, I might accidentally end up killing him when I'm trying to hold back. So, it's like, I'm a god. Yeah, but I gotta hold back to not kill you. It's so egotistical. Escanor's voice actor is doing a phenomenal job here, and it is sort of saving the scene, but just barely. Doesn't make it a good scene by any stretch. I just feel really bad for the voice actors in this entire series because they were given such crap to deal with. Then, the second part of the episode. Okay, so then we move on from that, and the second part of the episode, the Gelda, Zell, and Meliodas stuff. Once again, not horribly paced, but once again, panel by panel. The problem with that is that in the episode, I forget which one it was, it might have been the previous episode or the episode before, where Elizabeth and Meliodas are flying towards to go fight the Demon King on the lake, right? When they were doing this, there was a scene in the manga that was heavily discussed by me especially. I had a very long review of that manga chapter, but also by on the Boar's Hat podcast. I think Nia D. Hemmings talked about it because he was a big Zeldris fan and stuff like that. Not the bromance, but the brotherly relationship. The relationship of these two brothers was finally being fleshed out, was 3-dimensional, and deserved its own goddamn episode fully. fully. I'm talking 18 minutes of flashbacks, music, and episode. I'm talking the same deal that we got, which once again was expanded when Meliodas went into the cave and had to remember Liz over and over and over. That scene lasted a good 10 minutes in season 2. This should have been the same deal with Zeldris. I thought that maybe, because it felt really short in the previous episode, I thought that maybe they were going to sort of move some scenes around for pacing reasons or something. But no, they don't add anything else. Zeldris and Meliodas don't have an extensive talk while he's hanging up by the webs. They don't flash back to a few scenes of Zeldris and Meliodas like the conversations and expand on them and have the right overtones of tragic music but acceptance and I always wanted just for you to be a brother. And he's like, I'm sorry, I was a shitty brother. I want to act like a big brother at least for once in my life. We got the lines and they weren't poorly delivered, but we didn't get the emotion. The scene was hollow. And I felt really bad for that because the scene was supposed to make me feel, and I was waiting for it. I was watching it, and I was critiquing it, and I was just trying to push out the animation problems, push away everything else, and just sit back and enjoy the scene and try to feel it. I didn't feel it. I don't know if it was the visuals, whether it was the animation, whether it was the pacing. I don't know what it was, but it took away from this. Honestly, at this point, read the manga chapters. This arc was the worst arc of Seven Deadly Sins, one of the worst arcs in Shonen. In all honesty. Post chapter 300, some of the worst chapters ever written in Shonen, and I read all of Fairy Tail, so I can say that. Fairy Tail is better than the last arc of Seven Deadly Sins. That's just a fact. Whatever arc is your most hated arc in Fairy Tail, this arc is worse. Just is. So, but even so, you would think with anime, you would be able to sort of fix some things, retcon a few things, make the pacing, make us feel something. And here, this was an emotional scene in the manga. And it didn't pay off here. It just didn't. The hilarity of Gelda and Zeldris and their attitude towards each other as lovers was totally lost by the piss-poor visuals. This whole very faded white looking like somebody used the magic wand brush from friggin' Photoshop way too much and fading off the hair all the time. And I just couldn't get behind it. I really couldn't appreciate it. There was nothing really here to appreciate. And then the third problem was the fact that this was full animation. This should have been amazing. It wasn't terrible. But this should have been a whole thing. They paid off one of the worst characters, the worst of all the Seven Deadly Sins, Deanne, my least favorite. But this was her moment. This was her big moment. With the mother catastrophe, with the lifting of the lake, this whole, I'm going to build the plateau for the Demon King and us to fight upon, no more regen from the lake for magic, which they didn't really go into enough in the anime, so it sort of is losing a bit of potency there, wait a minute, what? Okay, yeah, sure. And the fact of the matter is they went shot for shot when they should have expanded both the Zeldris, Meliodas, Gelda scenes within the Demon King's mind. Then they also do it shot for shot and really make it fast-paced with the Escanor arrival scene, which is the only reason to continue goddamn well continuing this series is Escanor. Seriously, trust me, guys. And then they spend the last 5-6 minutes of the entire episode building up Deanne, but it's her swinging around her hammer so badly animated that it's abysmal to watch. And I honestly just had to I had to skip through it. I couldn't finish it. I just couldn't. I saw the last shot, made sure I didn't miss anything, sort of went back and went skip, and then I said, no, done. Because this moment with King proposing and all that stuff, and her doing her thing, and trying to, it's for my family, it's for my friends. This is Deanne coming full circle. No amnesia, everything's cured. She's now the official queen of the giants sort of idea. She's taken on that responsibility. She's in love with King. King's in love with her. Everything's going to be right, and she is going to fight for her friends. The regret that she has over activating the curse with Elizabeth, long gone. She is here to fight the Demon King and support them in any way. It was supposed to be one of her great moments, And due to bad visuals and poor pacing, they extended this scene. This scene was extended. Seriously, this scene is longer in the anime than the manga. Yet somehow a manga panel felt longer than an entire 2-minute sequence with Escanor. What are you doing? I didn't like this episode, guys. It was some of my favorite moments in the manga in one of the worst arcs of all time, and somehow they fucked it up. No, I didn't like very much of this. I really didn't. I don't know if you guys did. If you guys did, fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But no, guys, no. This episode, it ruined good moments for me. The moments that I've been looking forward to, each time they seem to want to ruin them. They handled last episode with Escanor, nighttime Escanor, very well. That was about as good as I could expect from this piss poor animation studio. However, or budget or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, then they go and squander moments 2, 3, and 4. You got moment 1 right. Great. Now you're going to ruin moments 2, 3, and 4. So now for moments 5, 6, and 7 that we're waiting for the next couple episodes, what are they going to do? Is it up in the air? Like, I don't get it. I need something stronger than this. Getting through this is just so abysmal. Yeah, it just really is. Ugh. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it, guys, but they're seriously, like, when they ruin... Once again, remember that as far as I'm concerned, there is only about 9 good moments from chapter 300, which is when the Demon King showed up in Meliodas' body. There's about a handful, less than a dozen good moments for the rest of the series. Chapter 300 to 345, 356, something like that, right? There's only an odd 50 chapters left. So, anime episodes, you work that out. The fact of the matter is that they're butchering most of those only decent moments. The rest of the storyline goes from bad to worse to goddamn abysmal. So maybe I'm being a little too harsh on it because I know that now we're in the finite levels of things that I'm looking forward to. There's only a couple things left to look forward to, guys, and they literally just ruined 2 of them. So, forgive my very pessimistic attitude for this review, but it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, or dislike the video. If you're going to dislike the video, at least let me know why. Say, you know what, you were too harsh on this, too harsh on that. I'm sorry, Griever, I have to hit a dislike, but at least tell me why you didn't like the review. If you didn't like my opinion, if you feel like I'm too harsh, let me know why. Give me your reasoning, and we can start a dialogue in the comment section down below. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. Plug, all my usual stuff. Don't forget 600 subscribers in the month of June. Let's freaking do it. You guys managed to do the 500 subscriber goal with time to spare. Let's do it by the end of June. 600. That's all I'm asking. I'm literally giving you guys 2 months to get me 50 subscribers. That's not that hard. Let's go. So, all right. That's it for now. Drink responsibly as always. We'll see you Sins and Commandments again, I'm sure, for the next episode. I just hope it's better than this one. Peace out.